In terms of Dorgu's goal threat, his overall XG isn't particularly high when you compare it to someone like Diallo, who's more of a natural winger, but he does have good off-the-ball movement, and his positional adaptability, it's added a new dimension to his goal threat, particularly since he's moved out to the right wing. So in terms of strengths, I think his runs in behind are quite intelligent. He seems to penetrate the back line quite well in terms of his curved runs in behind, and then if you thread a through ball to him, once he's into space, he can really stride through onto goal. In terms of his shooting technique, he's a two-footed player. Obviously, he favours his left foot cutting in from the right wing to create those shooting angles. Very Saka-esque, little body shift, gets onto his left foot, opens his body up and tries to finesse towards the far post. But he can also do a little jinky step over, go back onto his right foot, and then deliver powerful, low-driven shots across goal. This is an area which I think still needs to show more growth, but overall, there's a good foundation there in terms of being quite ambidextrous. Shot output, relatively low, so he needs to be more of a goal threat, I would say. He needs to also show more variation in terms of ball striking. Yes, he can use both feet, but most of his shots are either finesse shots or driven power strikes. I want to see chip shots, I want to see volleys. You know, if he's going to be a long-term wing forward, let's just say, he's going to have to show greater variation in terms of his ball striking. Overall, I'd say he's a better goal threat from the right wing, where his cutting runs, clever movement, they enhance his scoring potential. He's then able to use his left foot when he cuts in, but he can also use his right foot. From the left wing, he can only really stride forward and use, sort of run onto things, good timing, get onto the far post. So there's goal threat from that side too. Overall, needs to improve his shot volume, refine his striking technique, and add more variety to his finishing. In terms of his general link-up play, Dorgu's got moments where he shows a natural ability to shield the ball. He's a strong boy, and I think particularly when he's cutting in from that right flank, he can hold off defenders and find passing lanes. When he's given time on the ball, he uses his body well to create that space, execute short passes. But I do think his forward passing accuracy, it's a bit inconsistent. It's got a high error rate, so he needs to strike the balance between retaining possession but also progressing the ball with an air of comfort. At times, his first touch lets him down, particularly when he's attempting one-touch layoffs. Passes made with the instep of his foot, they often lack precision, they lead to turnovers. So this sloppiness needs to be eradicated for him to thrive in the high-pressure environment of the Premier League. And if anything, United, what they don't need is another player who struggles with one-touch passing, because they're a team that generally gives the ball away a lot. I'd like to see better off-the-ball movement in terms of offering options for a short pass. And he's shown composure in certain areas, but I think he needs to control the flow of the game a bit more. I think with his potential, he's definitely got the ability to dictate play even from a fullback or wingback position. So overall, I'd say it's a work in progress, but I think he's got certain elements like composure, body strength, flashes of intelligence. Just is a bit of a raw diamond, really needs to refine his decision making, and then this could be a strength. From a statistical point of view, Dorgu's creativity stats are shocking. There's no real assists, there's no real key passes, but the eye test suggests something different. I think he's actually got the vision to get his head up, scan the field for options. You can see that he's identifying opportunities for incisive passes, but I think the issue he's got is that when he spots these clever passing options, his delivery often lacks precision, either slightly overhit or poorly weighted passes. They disrupt the flow of play and they prevent his creative intent from translating into actual contributions on the score sheet. Nevertheless, I think his style of passing, it does have shades of like a Lewis Skelly type of player, where he's got this knack for imaginative and high risk plays. So I think the foundation of his creativity is there. He's got that boldness, he's got that willingness to try game breaking passes, but his decisions just lack that slight bit of maturity. Slightly over ambitious in terms of the passing he's trying to do, but I think there's promise here. I think if he can just refine his passing just by a little bit, we're talking percentages here, suddenly this goes from a statistical weakness to potentially becoming a strength in his game.